Hello, ladies and gentlemen of District 31. This is Daniel DiNardo again. I'm taking issue with the financial crisis that's got everybody's attention because everybody's losing their 401ks and their retirement plans. A very important question, what's going to happen with the permanent fund? The permanent fund, contrary to what I have preached since the very beginning, before at its inception, of which I was working at the Department of Petroleum Revenue and was asked to do the calculations, what would be the minimal amount and about the maximum amount of a payout on a yearly basis. The minimum was $25,000 and we're looking at $45,000 payouts. What have you ever received? Oh, big deal, you got this year, you got $2,200. It's chicken feed. The reason I say that is because the New York criminal banksters, the New York communist criminal banksters, and these useful idiots, what Lenin referred to, your legislators and your governors, have put your wealth that you supposedly have a common law interest in with the New York financial establishment that is collapsing as you witness it yourself. How can you take what is your lawful right and put it with criminals thousands of miles away that if you only would read history over the last 200, 300, 400 years, you would understand that there's nothing but criminals running this system. And to look at New York, it's an internationally recognized criminal syndicate operation. That's exactly what it is. Wall Street has never been anything but that. Its history is notorious for crime. Financial, murderous, prostitution, you name it, it goes on there. And take a look at how many people have been convicted in jury trials in New York City that work there in the financial institutions. Every one of them, virtually every one of them. But isn't it interesting when they go on appeal, every one of their convictions has been reversed. And you know why? Because the system can't run without those criminals at the beck and call of the financiers and the lawyers who actually manage and write the legal doctrines and operational principles for these institutions. And I'm talking about NASDAQ, the American Exchange, the New York Exchange, all your commodity markets. You know, it isn't accidental that these markets grew up on the waterfront. And you won't find any of these markets anywhere but the waterfront. Chicago, New York, San Francisco, Shanghai, England, wherever you look, they all grew up on the waterfront because there's a certain criminal element that inhabits the waterfront and has for centuries. So here you are, when we could be building that gas line or already have it built with those funds, and I don't believe in the permanent fund dividend whatsoever. I don't believe in the permanent fund at all. It's a contrived, diabolical scheme to deprive the people of Alaska their lawful right in the benefits of natural, real resources that could have been used to build a foundation, an industrial foundation that would have a geometrical payout, nothing like that mere pittance that you're willing to accept on a yearly basis as an act of prostitution. And that's all it is. You people have not studied. You don't have a clue. Basically, all you know how to do is write checks and how to use your credit card in the same diabolical system that has destroyed you, your family, your children, your parents, and are going to destroy all of your offspring in more ways than one. More than just subjection to criminal intent and criminal action, all about them and making their society unsafe and turning everybody into a paranoid group of people. That's the effect of the financial crisis. Let me tell you something about that financial crisis. This financial crisis was planned over 4 years ago by the Bank of International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland. They had determined by the year 2008 they were going to shrink the capital base worldwide. The capital base is the ocean of credit and debt that the world subsists on. Okay? That is what it is. It's just like the tides. When the tides come in, all boats are raised. When the tide goes out, all boats are lowered. And that's exactly what they're doing now. They're lowering all the markets of the world through the manipulation by curtailing the liquidity, first of all this phony baloney paper that you people worship on a daily basis, the Federal Reserve notes, your checking accounts, your credit card receipts, your mortgages, your options, your futures, your stock certificates. It's all phony, baloney, criminal paper. It has no value. It has no use. And what it is, it's a replace for the real substance itself. That's what it is. So once they've taken the substance of the law, of property, of gold and silver coin away from you, you're living in a cesspool of corruption that is totally, irrevocably, and guaranteed to be destructive. This was all set in motion by the Bank of International Settlements in approximately 1933 in Basel, Switzerland, with 3 Zionist communists who formed that bank, one of which was Hjalmar Schacht, Hitler's Reichsbank minister. That's correct. And they are still in control of the world because the National Socialist, i.e. Hitler's National Socialist Party, was the foundation of the communists. The communists, through Nikolai Lenin, stated emphatically that socialism is the bedrock and the foundation stone of communism. That's why Lenin, that's why Stalin, that's why Bernanke, that's why Greenspan, that's why Hitler, that's why all these criminals get along so well, because they have literally and completely taken over the world and destroyed your allodial rights in land and property, your inalienable rights to freedom, justice, and liberty, and the security of your home and family. That has been totally taken away from you through your ignorance and your own greed. And you are only beginning to pay the price for it. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to develop another YouTube presentation, but you should look at all of mine, because nobody's telling you the truth like Daniel DiNardo. Thank you.